right, rewatchers, welcome back. We've hit that time portal and we are ready for our next retro rewatch. And we have got another mail day today. I think I've been collecting stuff together for a couple of weeks now, so we've got a pretty good batch of stuff, and we're just going to go ahead and we're going to jump right in. And the first one is not open at all. All right. And don't know where this came from. I don't know, maybe eBay or something. Probably we got some nice little stickers in here. We've got a thank you um, foil thing there, and some nice packing peanuts in the package. Let's see what's wrapped up in this thing. I hope it's something good with all this stuff. Man, you got like the executive treatment for sure. Wow. And after all that, it is a used Criterion copy of In a Lonely Place with Humphrey Bogart. This is another one of those film noir movies where I think he is a writer, and I don't know, he gets embroiled into something where I guess I think a neighbor has died or something. I can't remember exactly, and he is potentially responsible for the murder, but the movie is pursuing that question of who is the murderer. So I'm hoping for a good whodunit kind of thing. All right. Oh, right. So this one is an ongoing saga from back before Christmas, and it is Ghost Stories for Christmas, Volume 1. And so, for anybody that's been watching the mail days, this has actually been lost in the mail for about 6 weeks or so. And I guess it finally came in. So, that's pretty exciting. And again, for anybody that didn't know, didn't hear, whatever, it's one that I ordered before Christmas just because it sounded interesting. There's 2 volumes of it, and Ghost Stories for Christmas. I wonder what that's all about. All right. And then now we've got something from Amazon here. Okay. So I think it was on the last mail day. I got the Adams Family. And so this time we talked about the Munsters, and I felt like it was time that we got the Munsters as well. Now I really like the Adams Family from what I can remember, and I actually have watched an episode or two with the family. I don't know that my kids have enjoyed it as much as I thought they would. My younger kids really did. My older kid, the one that's actually in the Adams Family play that we talked about, I don't know that she really enjoyed it very much. So I don't know, but the Monsters that was literally out at the same time. It's like the exact same years. I think the one shows like 72 episodes, the other one's like 66 or 68. So they're very, very, very similar, but I enjoyed both of them, so I'm looking forward to watching both. All right, next we have VHS 2. And so I've talked about VHS not specifically before, but I think it's come up, and so I really really like VHS. I like the concept of the anthology, and there was a ton of directors that I think were new and up and coming at the time who have gone on to do things like Ty West, Adam Wingard, um, the guy that did Siren. I cannot think of his name right now. Anyway, but I think aggregate score on the IMDb, this one is actually the highest rated of the series. And now there's like, I don't know, like 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, something like that. There's one that came out not terribly long ago. I think it was VHS Beyond, where it happens like in space or something. I don't know. But the first one is the only one I've seen, although I have copies of all of them, I believe, or it downloads or something. I don't know. But there's something I would like to catch up with in time. All right. Now, next, we have another 4K Blu ray from Germany. And I think this is the only place you can get it in 4K. And it is Strange Darling. This has got Willa Fitzgerald in it. For anybody that's watched the Reacher TV show on Amazon, Willa Fitzgerald was in season 1. And so this, I think, is kind of like a Most Dangerous Game type movie, where Willa Fitzgerald is the prey, who potentially becomes the predator. I'm not 100% sure. I think it gets a little more complicated than that, and I think it's supposed to be a pretty trippy movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm really excited to. All right, next. All right, so this one I actually have seen because it feels like a lot of them I talk about I have not seen, and we have The Substance, with Demi Moore and Dennis Quaid. This movie was crazy. This is somewhere in between Stanley Kubrick and David Cronenberg. There's a lot of beats to this thing that are very similar to like The Fly. So like the reason for the body horror and the change is vastly different than what The Fly is, but the beats, the way the body changes, stuff like that is actually kind of similar. Great performance by Demi Moore, and also a great performance by Dennis Quaid, even though he's not in it very much. But it's really kind of something you just got to kind of see. I mean, the basic setup is you've got an aging actress who's been released from her show, and someone suggests to her that there is something called the substance that will allow her to kind of re-experience her youth. And it's not exactly that simple. It creates it's almost like a clone, but they're one and the same. And they have to share like actual physical like body resources like spinal fluid and things like that. There are parts of it that are very hard to watch. It has a lot of nudity in it, although I mean I don't know that any of that nudity is particularly sexualized. A lot of it's just the body horror of like, you've got this changing of the body and the person. Very, very good. Instant classic. The last 10 minutes is like very kabuki, over the top, just like nuts crazy. Definitely worth a watch. From Diabolique DVD, one of my new favorite places to order from. Let's see what we got here. All right. So these releases, there's two of them. They're both from Indicator. I have never gotten an Indicator release before, but I was very interested to get it. So I've been, for anybody that's been watching the Mail Days, I've watched a lot of, or I've been on a kick to get a lot of Humphrey Bogart movies over the last few months. And I think this is the last one that I'm going to get for a while, but it's Humphrey Bogart in Sahara. And so this was just, it was a wartime movie that he's in that I've never seen, that I'm very interested to see. Again, I love Humphrey Bogart, so I'm sure it's going to be great. And then I really just kind of took a stab at another movie here, The Lives of a Bengal Lancer with Gary Cooper. And this was another one that was just released at the same time as that movie. It got fairly good reviews on the IMDb. I believe they're both in 4K, or at least a 4K restoration. I'm not sure. It looks like they're both 4K restoration on the Blu-ray. So I don't know exactly why you would do that, but anyway, so I'm gonna be really interested to see because Indicator releases stuff. They've got tons of releases. I mean, Sahara is 459 and Bengal Lancer is 472. So I mean, they have had a ton of releases, but I've just never caught up with any of them. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the quality of those are, from the sound to the picture to everything. All right. So we have, oh, this is another one from DL Delete DVD. And there's actually a story behind this one. So this one actually should have been on the last mail day and it got left out by accident. And so now we've got a second life. I was actually talking about one of these movies to Trey, and then it was like, yeah, it was like on the mail day. And he's like, no, no, it wasn't. And then I got to looking around and he was right. I actually hadn't taken it out of the box yet. So the first thing in the box is Plague Dogs. This is a animated feature from the 1980s. All three of these are going to be animated features, and they're all adult themed animated features. And I believe the basic gist of this one is you've got these dogs that were in like a laboratory test facility and they escaped. And so now, because they may potentially be infected with a highly contagious, deadly disease, they've got to find these dogs before the plague is unleashed on the populace. And next is a media book of Watership Down. And I have never seen this one. I've never seen Plague Dogs either. Actually, I haven't seen the next one either. But this is very infamous for having some very extreme animal violence in it. And this is limited to 333 pieces, and this is number 261. It's actually kind of neat. It's got a little foil thing on there to try and show the authenticity of it. I actually don't know that I've seen those before on the media book. This thing is actually embossed, like the Watership Down is kind of sunken in and inlaid. This thing is beautiful. I mean, you can see it's still sealed, so I'm not going to flip through it right now, but um, And the Blu-ray and the DVD have different run lengths. So the Blu-ray is 92 minutes and the DVD is 88 minutes. I wonder what the difference is there. I wonder if one of them, because I don't think this is I don't think it's a release from the States. I'm not sure where this came from. I don't know if it came from the UK. I don't know if it's from Germany. It looks like everything it's from Germany, because it's got German and English. So it's going to be a German media book. And so I wonder if the Blu-ray is the unrated cut that is fine with censorship now, and the 88-minute cut was what the censors allowed back when it was released. All right, so a minute ago I had indicator releases, and the first indicators I'd ever got, and then next is Felidae. See if you can see that kind of well there. All right, Felidae. This is one about a cat, and I believe like in the back alleys or wherever they are, in the movie, there are cat murders that are happening, and this is kind of like a Sherlock Holmes of figuring out who the cat murderers are and what's going on. And this is also kind of infamous for having like cat sex scenes and other stuff in it, because it is kind of I mean, it's an adult themed. Wow, I did not even know this, but on the back of it, it compares it with Plague Dogs and Watership Down. How crazy is that? I genuinely did not know that. It also has a comparison to The Secret of Nim, which is a phenomenal like Don Bluth movie. It's not R rated though, like I think these other ones are. Um, Okay, so Plague Dogs is PG-13. Watership Down, I would think is probably rated R, and I would think Felidae is as well. This one is unique. This is a Deaf Crocodile release, and this is the only Deaf Crocodile release that I have. And it is a deluxe edition that was limited to 2,500 copies. One thing that's interesting about this is there was an English dub that was made for this movie, because I'm pretty sure it is a German film. Um, but to my knowledge, I don't think it's ever been released. If it has, it was on VHS and that is it. And I don't think it was. I think it was one of those things that was leaked. And there were some big actors that were believed to have done the dub, but no one knows for sure. And at one point in time, there was a version of it that was out on YouTube, from what I had read on like Reddit and some other stuff. But to the best of what I could do for research, I couldn't find it. So if anybody does know of an English dub of Felidae that is out there somewhere where it could be seen or captured or whatever, please leave it in the comments and let me know, because I would absolutely love to be able to track that down. All right, this is the last package for tonight. All right, and this is from eBay, and it is a limited edition Arrow release. It's actually one of, I mean, not like super old, but an older Arrow release, and it is the Warriors. Um, so this is new and sealed, although it did not come like directly from Arrow, and it's out of print currently with Arrow, so that's why I had to pick it up secondary market. Um, I wonder where this is from, because it actually still has like a price tag on it of 59.99. Um, I actually didn't pay much over that, so which I don't know what it was when it originally came out, probably less than that, but unfortunately I didn't catch it when it was released. But that's it. I think we have gotten through the stack, so we've hit the end of the videotape. I hope some of that was interesting. I don't know if I told as many stories as I normally do, but anyway, there you go. So we're hitting the rewind video, or the rewind on the tape. Goodness, if I can get myself straight. And we are heading to the video store. We'll see you next time.